guys, it's Grace. A steakhouse dinner at home is coming your way. I'm making steak medallions and a simple 5-ingredient steak sauce that is just to die for. You will never even want to go back to a steakhouse because it is that good. The sauce and the steak is just amazing. I'm gonna be making steak on the stove, so you don't even need a grill, and the sauce will take less than 10 minutes to make. What in the world? And this is all you need. So I have a bottle of Cab here. You can also use Merlot, but you're gonna wanna use a red wine, and this is gonna make the sauce nice and rich. And then I have some butter, and that's going to add to the richness of the sauce. Butter and wine, oh man. I have some shallots here and a ton of them. It's gonna add a vibrance. And I also have some fresh thyme here that's just gonna finish the sauce off. I also have mushrooms. I have some sliced baby bella or cremini mushrooms, but you don't need to add mushrooms if you're not a mushroom fan. I love mushrooms in steak and red wine, but like if you're not a fan, you don't have to. And then I have the star of the show. I have a beautiful steak. So this is a tenderloin, AKA filet mignon, and it's about 1/2 pound, which is perfect for one person. And I'm going to cut the steak into medallions. And a medallion is basically just a thinner piece of steak, so it cooks faster on the stove. That's it. It's just a fancy way of saying it. This one I already actually got, and it was the perfect size, so you don't even need to cut it. I like to take this special measuring tool, and you can see that it's about 1.5 inches or so, which is what I'm going for the medallions. Make sure it's about that, and that will allow you to cook the steaks just like I'm telling you. If it's a little thicker, you might need to cook them longer. So I'm going to bring all this stuff over to the stove, and we're gonna cook this up in less than 30 minutes. So I have a screaming hot skillet here, and I have about 2 tablespoons of butter in the skillet that's heating away, and it's time to add our steak in. So I have my steak, and I'm gonna add this right into a screaming hot pan. And I'm gonna let this go for about 2 minutes on side 1, and then 2 minutes on side 2. It'll give each side a nice caramelized brown finish, and then I'm gonna stick it in the oven. So each side has browned for 2 minutes, and I'm gonna take my steak and transfer it onto a nice baking sheet, and I'm gonna pop this in the oven at 400 for about 6 to 8 minutes until the inside registers 130 to 135, which is medium rare. So I just put the steak in the oven, and it's time to start the sauce. And the sauce will be done when the steak is done, so we have about 6 to 8 minutes. So I have my piping hot pan here. There's lots of butter in there, and I'm going to deglaze the pan by adding our red wine in here. And this is gonna bubble up, so watch out. Here we go. Woo. So the wine is deglazing the pan, which means all the little beef particles are coming off the pan and infusing the wine. And I'm gonna add in here some butter. And the butter is just going to make the sauce nice and rich. And I'm also going to add in some shallots here, all my chopped shallots. Yum! And my mushrooms, and again, you don't have to add these if you don't want to. And then some thyme, some fresh thyme here. Just about like a small little pinch, just to flavor the sauce. Nothing big. And some salt. And pepper. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give this a big stir. Stirring in all these ingredients. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna let this simmer for about 6 to 7 more minutes, and then the steak will be done. Make sure to check on that steak. So my pan sauce that I cooked over high heat has turned into this. Look at how amazing the shallots are caramelized in the butter and the red wine. Look at the mushrooms. The thyme has kind of disintegrated. Exactly what we want. And that was in less than 10 minutes, which is pretty crazy. And then I've been letting my steak just rest for about 5 minutes. You want to do that just so all the juices are retained in the steak. If you cut it too soon, then you end up with steak that doesn't have any juice in it because it runs all over the place when you cut it. So I'm gonna put this right on my plate to try. I'm gonna add plenty of sauce. Oh my gosh. Do you really need to go to a steakhouse if you can do this? Man, oh man. I'm gonna put a few little beautiful sprigs of fresh thyme on here. Is that restaurant quality or what? But the real grand reveal is how I did when I cut it. Oh, that says it all. We did it, and that's all you have to do. Just roast it in a pan, sear it on both sides, stick it in the oven for less than 10 minutes, and you get that. I'm proud if you can't tell. Can't wait to try sauce. It is so good. There's so much juice in my mouth from that steak. I don't want to choke. It is so good. The sauce tastes like you slow cooked it for hours. It is that good. Check this out on tastefullygrace.com. You will not regret it.